Thank you for tuning in today. I'm glad that you're here. If you're wondering if a seller can back out after accepting an offer, you're in absolutely the right place. So let's take a look at why does this happen. My name is Andrew Finney, and please consider me your real estate geek. I'm always here to help, and my contact information is in the show more description along with at the back side of this video. So let's take a look at it. So what really happens here sometimes with sellers is they just simply get cold feet. And if you're a seller out there right now with your home on the market, you just accepted an offer or you're moving through the closing process and you're getting cold feet, just simply remember the reasons why you were selling your home. Look at the light at the end of the tunnel and remember the goal that you had set for yourself. Are you selling your home because you're getting your new dream home? Are you selling your home because you're downsizing? Were one of your motivations perhaps to sell your home so that you could move closer to friends and family or to a different part of the country that you really want to get to? By examining your motivations and examining your reasons why, you may find that you're not ready to back out and you really want to move forward. So just take a step back, take a deep breath, and re-examine your motivations and your reasons to sell so you don't have a change of heart, because a big life change, I mean, selling a house, let's face it, is a big life change. And sometimes with change, it frightens people and it causes fear and anxiety. Just take that step back, remember why you're doing it, because none of us grow if we stay in the same place, so change is good. So the next thing is that's important for you to know as a seller is that you really don't have any rights of rescission unless it was built into both your listing agreement and, more importantly, your sales agreement with the buyer themselves. Unless you put something in there that your home was being sold contingent upon buying a new home or finding the right new home for you, then there's not really going to be a back out clause in there. Unlike a buyer who has what's called buyer's due diligence. And depending on where you are in the country, and you want to check with your trusted real estate advisor wherever you may be to learn more about this, but a buyer's due diligence here in Las Vegas, for example, is typically about 10 days. During that time, the buyer has the opportunity to order their appraisal, order their home inspection, review the CC&Rs of the HOA community if you live in an HOA community, and if something's amiss after they do their due diligence, then they can actually walk away. It's not uncommon for it to happen, but most commonly buyers that write an offer on a home are very, very serious. Hence why they put up an earnest money deposit as a deposit of good faith to you, the seller, and most buyers are going to go ahead and move forward with that purchase because that's what they want. They want your home. So if you try to rescind that and take it away from them, they feel jilted. It's important to remember a jilted buyer will become an angry person pretty quick. So with a jilted buyer being angry, they're going to be wanting a lot of different things from you to try to make it right. And even though it's pretty rare for a court of law to say that you must sell your home and you have to sell your home and to force you out of your home, it does happen from time to time underneath a clause called a suit for specific performance. It just really comes down to what the terms of that sales contract was between you and the buyer. So if you have questions about that, you want to check with that trusted real estate advisor that you hired, or if this is something that you're contemplating, you might want to actually talk to a real estate attorney about it as well. It's very important to understand that you will need to make remuneration, and in some cases actually to not only your listing agent but also obviously to the buyer. The buyer is going to want their home inspection money back. They're going to want their home appraisal money back. If they paid for storage getting prepared to move into your home, they're going to want to be paid for that. And if they're displaced because they had sold a home, or if they had moved because they were coming from out of state and they were staying in a short-term rental because they were getting ready to close on your home and that was their plan and that was their intent and that's what they were doing, you may actually be liable for some temporary housing costs there for them until they can find another suitable home for them and get in the contract on that. So it's something to consider, and again, you want to have that conversation with your trusted real estate advisor and also perhaps a real estate attorney, depending on how difficult it may be. So sometimes it's just best to keep moving forward unless there's a really good reason why you're backing out. So, look, buyer's remorse is pretty common. Seller's remorse is a lot less common, but it does happen. And there's 4 reasons why this generally happens. One of the reasons are that a seller sometimes feels they could have got a better price. The second reason is that they didn't want to sell the home for their appraised value. The appraiser came in, said it's not worth what was the agreed upon in the sales price, and so it says, you know what? That's bunk. It's horse hockey. I don't want it. I want to back out and start throwing a fit over the appraised value. And look, in some cases, appraised values come in pretty low. In some cases, they come back maybe within 1 or 2% less than the agreed upon sales price. In that case, just do what we need to do to help everybody along. It's absolutely understandable you would be angry, but a buyer cannot get a loan for more than a home's appraised value. And the reality is a lot of buyers just don't have the money to come up out of pocket in the case of a low appraised value. So it's something to consider. Now, there are some practical reasons why you may be able to actually rescind or back out after accepting an offer. And I don't know of any buyer that would blame me for these two practical reasons. One practical reason is you lost your job, or maybe you had a job that you were moving to, you were relocating, and it didn't pan out. I don't know of any buyer that's probably going to get frisky about you for losing your job and be angry with you. Now, absolutely, they're going to want their money back for that inspection, that appraisal, and any of those other costs, but they're probably not going to be trying to pressure you to sell the home at that point. The second practical reason is, God forbid, you go to the doctor and it's not good news. I mean, they said you got cancer, that you're coming down with something that's going to be a terminal illness, or there's going to be some kind of bad health situation. And unfortunately, I have worked with buyers in exactly with sellers in contract to sell their home, and both of those circumstances, one in 2016 and one in 2015. The 2016 seller had lost their job. The buyer just said, hey, give us remuneration for our inspection, our appraisal, and help us out with some of our storage costs because we were getting ready to close and we moved here from out of state and we'll be good. Seller did that. We were able to make everybody whole on that. And then I was able to help the buyer find another home within a matter of a few days. And now they're living in it, obviously very happy. The other case in 2015, we were in contract and the seller actually had a doctor appointment and we're about 2 weeks along. And the listing agent had called me and said, Andrew, I have some really bad news. We're going to have to cancel. And I said, oh my goodness, what's going on? We're approaching the finish line here. And the agent said, well, Andrew, the seller went to the doctor this past Friday and they were waiting for some test results that came back and they just got the news. And I said, okay, what's going on? And they said the seller has cancer and they are completely mentally gone at this point and emotionally devastated, and they're focusing on other matters than selling a home right now. I said, hey, I completely understand. I'll relay that over to the buyer. We'll just need to get the money back for the buyer's home inspection and appraisal and see if there's anything else that they're out. And they said, okay. Again, we made it work and found the buyers a new home. We moved forward, and I hope if that seller is watching this video right now, you probably know who you are, or if you're in a similar circumstance or have been, I definitely hope that your health is much improved and you're doing much better. So the fourth reason is probably the most common reason. It's simply an emotional attachment to the property. Look, especially if you lived in a house for a long time, you thought it was going to be your forever home, or you had kids, or you had family get-togethers and friends and stuff like that, you've built a lot of happy memories in that house. And sometimes it's just hard to let go. And it's going back to when we were talking about cold feet. It's really important to re-examine your motivations and re-examine the reasons why you were selling your home to begin with. If you remember those reasons, it's not going to be that difficult to go ahead and let go. It provided you a great life while you were there. You were very happy while you were there. Now it's time to enjoy the excitement of opening a new book and beginning a new chapter in your life. And it's a very exciting time, so just remember that. So if you're really intent upon canceling, just be ready to pay up and make sure that you're paying everybody that is affected by the sale of your property what they're due. Also remember, and going back to your motivations and how much you really want to start that new life chapter for you. I mean, people sell for a huge amount of reasons, but most commonly it seems like downsizing, upsizing, moving out of state, closer to friends and family. Those are realistic reasons why you're selling. And while it may be hard to let your beloved home go, it's okay. It'll go into good hands with the new buyer, and you'll be opening a new chapter, and you'll have a new home to provide your loving atmosphere and put your touch on in the future as you begin that chapter in life. So in short, depending on what the reasons are as far as can a seller back out after accepting an offer, yes and no and maybe so. It just depends on the reason and what was written into the purchase agreement, and you want to check with your trusted real estate advisor about that and see what kind of terms were written into the contract and what you were agreeing to. And you always want to make sure, number one, before you sign, that you understand 110% what you're agreeing to up front. Or if you're an attorney state, talk to the real estate attorney as well. So That's been today's video about if a seller can back out after accepting an offer. If you learned something new from this video, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Please like this video. And by all means, please share it around with someone you think that is going to be able to help. My name is Andrew Finney. I'm putting my contact information up on the screen. If you have any more questions about this topic or you have an idea for a new video, please hit me up on an email or in the comment section below. And if you want to just say hi, that's cool too. I always love hearing from you. In the meantime, enjoy a fantastic day.